shout out to Robin Freelix because she sent me a DM and asked me could I do this story. Now this story right here is completely foreign to me. And it may be foreign to many of you. So far, she's the only person that knows about this story right here. And luckily for me, I was able to gain a lot of information or some information off of the change.org website, which of course is a petition site. And I'll leave the link to the petition down below so y'all can sign it. And trust me, you will want to sign this. So this man's name is Donald Middlebrooks. And he is currently on death row because he committed a very heinous crime. Anybody who's on death row, well, not anybody, because some people be on there it's not supposed to be on there, mainly a lot of black people, because you know how that goes. But anyway, if they're on there, there has to be a reason as to why. And his definitely is a reason as to why he's on there. So I'm going to go ahead and read this little passage that's on the petition site so you can get some insight about it. Donald Ray Middlebrooks was convicted of torturing and murdering 14-year-old Carrick Majors in 1987. The teen's naked body was found beaten, stabbed, choked, raped with a stick, slashed with an X pattern on the chest, urinated upon, and lying under a mattress in a dry creek bed in East Nashville, Tennessee. Majors was African American, and Middlebrooks shouted racial epithets at Majors. Majors was tortured for up to 4 hours before he was stabbed to death. Donald Middlebrooks was sentenced to death in 1989. That was the year I was born, by the way. In December 2017, Middlebrooks exhausted his appeals, making him eligible for an execution date. He has been on death row longer than Carrick Majors was even alive. It is time for Middlebrooks to face the punishment he chose for himself more than 30 years ago. And then it goes into the part about signing the petition. That's one major flaw when it comes to the death penalty and being on death row, is how long people can be on there. This guy committed this act back in 1987. So you're talking about, what, 33 years ago when he did this, and has been in jail for 31. And he's exhausted all of his appeals as of 3 years ago, which means he can no longer appeal to try to, I don't know, I doubt they will let him out of jail, but probably to take the death penalty off the table, but they're not doing it. But he's still there. That's the only thing I hate about the death penalty, is how long it takes them to actually get to the chair. Like, look at what happened to the murderers of James Byrd. He was murdered brutally back in 1998, I believe it was. And the last killer did not get the needle until last year. So he literally was on death row for over 20 years. One of them got it back in 2011. But this guy's been on death row for what he did for about 33 years. And we know why. Look at who his victim was. A 14-year-old black boy. He straight up tortured this boy for hours before he finally killed him. I'm surprised the boy did not try to off himself just to avoid having to go through that torture anymore, but he was probably fighting for his life to see if he could find a way to get out. Unfortunately, he wasn't successful. But it's the fact that while he's still alive, we as taxpayers are still paying for that. And that's why when it comes to Dylann Roof, while I'm glad he is on death row, I wish they would just get it over with already. I mean, it's pretty clear that he did it. He went to the trial. He was found more than guilty on every charge. He's on death row. Just put him on that table and get it over with. Why drag it out, in my honest opinion? I feel like if they're going to be on death row, they shouldn't be on death row, in my opinion, for no longer than 3 years. And that might even be a stretch. But this guy has been on death row since 1989. Why is he still breathing? They make it seem like he only got life without parole. Like I said, he should have been gone. He should have had that lethal cocktail, in my honest opinion. So that's the major flaw when it comes to the death penalty is how long they stretch it out. It's like, what are they waiting for? Like, if someone knows, can y'all put it down in the comment section below? Why do they wait so long to put someone out of their misery when they commit these kinds of acts and when they're on death row? Because I really need to know, because I still have yet to figure that out. Something tells me I'm going to end up Googling it anyway. But if somebody knows, put it down in the comments. Because this guy has been alive too long. And listen what it said. It said that he's been on death row longer than Carrick Evans, who was the victim, has been alive. Who's only 14. And this guy has been in jail just waiting to die for 33. That's over twice the age the boy would have been today. Let's see if he was 14. No, over twice the age he was then. I'm sorry. I had my words mixed up. But such is life, and this is that so-called justice system at play and at work yet again.